Greetings everyone, and I hope you're all groovy out there in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another NECA 1/10 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we are going to be taking an up-close and personal look at none other than Bruce Campbell, aka Ash Williams, from the 1987 Sam Raimi directed seminal horror masterpiece that is Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. The review will take the usual format. We'll have a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories, then it will be out with the Kandarian Demon Slayer himself for an up-close look, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But before we get into it, the usual shout-outs, and to everyone out there who's subscribed to and supported the channel, a massive thank you and thumbs up. And to those of you who are watching who haven't subscribed yet, please mash that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, and come and join the action figure party. Cost and pain free, and you'll be supporting us to continue doing what we're doing here at Go Figure. So the box now, it's the usual NECA designed box. It's the Velcro book cover opening style. We'll stop it from spinning and have a quick look at it. Usual high level of finish on here with this high gloss card that they've used. The majority of the front cover is taken up with this skull with the eyes in, which I believe is from promotional posters and so on when the film was released back in the day. Bottom left hand corner you've got Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. There's a picture of the forest there with a light shining through it. On the sides here, Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn, and once again you've got a picture of the car and of the cabin. It says NECA Real Toys on there. I think that's continued on the right hand side. It is. On the bottom you've got all the credits and the barcode. Now herein lies I'll say an issue with this figure. It's just something we won't get to the bottom of until we actually open it up and get it out. I believe this number here dictates which year the figure was released. Now it's got a 20 at the end, so I'm assuming it's a 2020 release. That makes it about 4 years old, which fits because I picked this figure up about 3 or 4 years ago, and it has remained sealed since. However, I believe there's been a reissue of this figure since then with a different head sculpt. And there's been several issues of Ash Williams figures by NECA, so we won't really get to the bottom of actually what the year is on this figure until we get it out and we can take a look underneath the shoes, because as NECA collectors will know, that's normally got the year of production stamped on the bottom. So yeah, on the top of the box you've got the usual warnings there. It says Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn, the age restriction on there. I say the warning, don't piss this figure off or it might swallow your soul. So yeah, as mentioned, Velcro book style cover opening. When you open it up you're greeted with the transparent cover with the figure underneath, and on the left hand side another really nice shot of the figure itself with that cabin backdrop. So yeah, that's the box. So without further ado, let's do what we always do. Let's crack the seals on this guy, dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with the figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Ash Williams figure. We'll start with the hands as we always do, you know me and my hands. We'll take a look at this swap out arm first of all. Now this is, it swaps out at the elbow, obviously, with this peg here. And this arm is meant to represent the transformation arm, shall we say, after he's been bitten, and his arm starts to transform into a dead-eyed arm. This is pre him chopping the hand off, obviously. The sculpt here is really nice. The paint applications on the sleeve here to give it that denim look are very good. There's weathering on here, there is creasing on here, there's weathering in those creases, dry brushing and so on. The hand itself, if I can get this into shot, get the camera to focus on this, is really well done. The sculpt's really nice. There's some great bone structure in there. The skin is stretching and looks aged and suitably evil. The fingernails are starting to grow and are long and pointed. There's creasing in the palm there, if the light's catching this. There's also some high gloss paint applications on the wound sections there to give it that authentic look, and a tiny hair got in there somehow. But yeah, overall, very, very nicely sculpted, very, very nicely done. So yeah, that's your swap out dead-eyed arm. You also get the hand post severing, shall we say. And I'll try and get the camera to focus on this. I think it struggles sometimes with this 1/10 scale pieces. Yeah, very, very nicely done again. The skin texturing is really nice. The paint applications are nice. Sculpt is on point. The wounds are there with the high gloss paint applications, even down to the detailing in of the bones at the wrist there, where the hand's been severed itself. Fingernails on this version are black, where they're slightly lighter on the armed version. The wound is larger in the palm of the hand there and nicely sculpted. There's lots of creasing in there to give it that deadite look. Yeah, and overall, really nice paint applications, really nice sculpt. So yeah, that's your severed deadite hand. Finally, you get another swap out hand. Now this is for use with that arm that we just looked at. If you're wanting to have the arm pre-bite, so to speak. And once again, we're looking at the same level of sculpt and paint applications as the other arms and hands. Some nice dry brushing in there to dirty this one up with the dirt on the fingernails and so on. And some blood paint applications on the back of the hand there. So yeah, that's your 3 swap out hands. Let's take a quick look at the weapons. The boomstick, where would Ash be without his boomstick? All one piece of sculpted plastic. Some nice paint applications on the stock there to give it that wood look. Some silver paint applications that have been weathered underneath the barrel itself, and some dry brushing on the barrel to give it that slightly aged look. So yeah, there it is. That it is what it is. It's a 1/10 scale shotgun, and nicely done. And finally, for the weapons, you get the axe. Now, once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic. The handle itself has got paint applications on there to give it that wood-like look. The head of the axe. Now, actually on the body of the axe as well, you've got this sort of green slime, if the light's catching it, which looks like it's been painted on in a high gloss green paint. On the head of the axe itself, and I'm going to try and maneuver this so the light will catch it. There you go. You've got this sort of high gloss green effect. Now, I don't know whether that's paint application or a decal. That could be a decal, actually. Difficult to tell. Actually, on closer inspection, it looks like paint, but yeah, you've got paint applications on here to give it that slimed up, that green slimed up look that happens when Ash takes the axe to a deadite and the slime pours forth, shall we say. So yeah, nicely done there. So that's the axe. Let's take a look at this. You get a 10 scale Necronomicon. Nicely done it is too. All one piece of sculpted plastic. Doesn't open or anything like that, but it's got dry brushing and to camera focus and weathering on there to give it that sort of leather, human skin-like feel. Several variations of this. It evolved as through the films, and but yeah, very nicely done. And there's even some paint applications on the edges here to simulate pages in the book itself. So yeah, that's the Necronomicon. And you also get a reel-to-reel tape recorder, the tape recorder that started it all off when it was inadvertently played. But yeah, nice sculpt here. The detailing is on point, really nicely done. Even around the back there, you've got dry brushing and silver paint applications to give it that authenticity and slightly weathered look. The control panel on the front is really nicely done with all the buttons. And once again, that weathering of the silver paint. And what really is eye-catching on this, actually, are the tape reels themselves. Just really well sculpted and painted. Give it that authenticity and screen accuracy. So yeah, nice little sculpted reel-to-reel recorder there. And finally, the 2 head sculpts. Now, it actually comes with 3 head sculpts. Well, I say 3 head sculpts. This is an accessory head sculpt. There are 2 Ash head sculpts. We'll take a look at this one first. This is obviously the severed head of Ash's girlfriend after she's deadited, shall we say. And pretty nice paint applications on here. Pretty nice sculpt. That hair is nicely sculpted with individual strands in there. Pretty screen accurate as far as I can tell, having seen this film several 1,000 times, I would say. Perhaps the paint applications on the head are a little bit matte, but overall they're nicely done. The eyes are whited out, which is correct. There's what looks like mud or dried blood spatter on the face itself. The teeth are nicely painted with those yellows and browns and the exposed gums. And even down to the detailing on the neck there, where the head has been removed, with the high gloss red paint and the sculpting of what looks like bone, even down to what looks like the spinal column there, suitably gory. But yeah, that's the girlfriend's severed head. We'll put that to one side, and this is the last of the heads here. As I say, it comes with two head sculpts. There's pre-deadite and post-deadite. This is the post-deadite head sculpt, and I really do like this. Hoping the camera is focusing properly on this. Sculpt is absolutely on point. The hair is really well done and screen accurate, and there's even some weathering on the hair. There's some dirtying up of the hair. The sculpt itself is on point with the shape. The chin is starting to elongate there, which is screen accurate. Those white sunken eyes with that deeper purple paint application around the edges there. The high gloss paint applications for the blood on the face and on the ears. Just overall really well done. 1/10 head sculpt of Ash Williams in deadite form. So yeah, that's the swap out head sculpt. So that's all the accessories. So without further ado, let's bring out Ash himself, get him onto the turntable and have an up close look at him. Okay, so here he is. It's Ash Williams himself, straight out of the box, straight onto the turntable. First impressions are pretty good. I've had a sneaky peek at his feet, and on his feet anyway it says 2016. I mentioned at the top there I was a little bit unsure on how to date this figure. I know there was a release after this with a different head sculpt. So the head sculpt was actually looking off to one side with slightly better paint applications. Now I'm not sure whether this is a reissue or whether this is an original from 2016. As I mentioned at the top there, I've had it sort of 3 to 4 years, maybe 3 years, so it could be a reissue. And I will openly admit, I'll hold my hands up here, I am no NECA historian. So, and I know they've released an awful lot of these figures, and I still have some more that are going to be coming up for review, including the double pack, the limited edition double pack. But yeah, I'm going to hazard a guess that this is probably a couple of issues down the line, or possibly a reissue. But that's enough of my wobbling on about the history of the figure. Let's take a look at the figure itself. And as I say, first impressions, very good. Proportions look spot on. The paint applications look nice. The sculpt looks accurate. The screen accuracy looks there. But we'll stop him from spinning and do what we always do. Start at the bottom and work our way up. And take an up close look at him. So let's get him off the turntable, put that to one side and get him into shot. So yeah, normal situation with the boots here, pegged straight in. Not an awful lot of movement in these boots, to be honest with you. There's a bit of lateral movement, but virtually no forward or backwards movement. But the sculpt is very good. It's screen accurate there. There's sculpted in laces. There's weathering on there. Moving up to the pants. Now the pants themselves look the right colour to me. That sort of brown weathered look. And if the camera's catching that, the sculpt itself has actually picked out the material, the weave in the material, which is really nice to see. I hope the light's catching. Let's actually move these lights in a little bit more so we can see the details here a little bit better. I hope that will. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, at the bottom of this leg here, you've got sort of a shredding of the trouser leg, which is screen accurate. Would have been nice to maybe see some blood applications underneath there, but it is what it is. The paint applications, to say, really good. Let's test the articulation out of these knee joints. Yeah, it's the usual story here from a NECA figure. It's not 45 degrees, probably about 30 there, 25, 30 degrees. The joints themselves, for considering how long this has been sat in the box, are quite flexible. There's some give in there. This one's a little bit tighter, but yeah, moving up, there's creasing in the pants there around the crotch area. There's a sculpted in belt with a silver painted belt buckle around the back. You've got sculpted in pockets. The shirt itself, hard plastic, whereas sometimes you see softer plastic in these swap out arms. This is all one hard plastic, but the sculpt's really nice. A lot of weathering, which is what we need on an Ash Williams figure. Sculpted in pockets there. There's some blood applications on the shoulders. Weathering's nice. The creasing's nice. This is the swap out arm, obviously, and it's got the severed arm solution that Ash comes up with, which is just a cloth really and some duct tape, but that's really nicely done. Get that into shot there. The duct tape's painted silver. There's weathering on it, and there's weathering on the cloth that is wrapped around the stump there. Paint applications are nice. Let's move up to this head sculpt. Now, I've got to admit, it's good, but it's not my favourite actually. Out of the head sculpts that come in this pack, I do prefer the Deadite head sculpt for some reason. Yeah, the accuracy is there; it's unmistakably Bruce Campbell, most certainly. There's a nice 5 o'clock shadow on there. The hair is really well sculpted and high gloss. Once again, screen accurate. The style's right. The paint applications of the high gloss paint applications to simulate the blood, running down the nose and on the forehead there, and in the hairline on the ears are really nice. I like the expression they've gone for here on this one. It's sort of a slightly shocked, stunned, and angry all at the same time. So it covers just about every base. So, but I think they've done a good job with this head sculpt. As I say though, for me this figure works best, and I noticed this straight out of the box. Literally, this is the first time this head sculpt's been off. So this is going to probably be quite difficult, especially considering how long it's been sat in the box for. But we'll put on the Deadite head sculpt, and that took some doing getting that off. Let's see if this one won't go on. This is where rehearsal comes in. It really does. Just bear with me while I manhandle this on. It might be a hairdryer job, this one. It is not wanting to cooperate, but we'll give it some brute force, because these NECA figures can take quite a lot of bashing around. And that's the... I don't think that's riding a little bit high. I don't think that's fully in there, but we'll try a little bit harder, and there we go. See if it'll go down any further. Whew, out of breath there. Now that for me is my preferred look with this one. I think it's not down to how bad this head sculpt is. It's just down to how good this one is, if that makes sense. And I just prefer this look. I think for this particular figure, this is the best look for me. But yeah, you also get that swap out arm feature that we spoke about, and that came out quite easily. And you simply pull that arm out there, slot in the new one, and you've got the hand gone Deadite there, if you're wanting to go for that look as well. So yeah, there's the other swap out hand as well, which actually I believe goes in here. Let's just give that a try. Yeah, you pull that one out, and you can swap in if it wants to go on. Now, once again, sometimes NECA joints are hairdryer and hot water. That one is not wanting to go on. We will look at that one off camera. We'll put the Deadite hand back on and see if that one wants to play. Yeah, that one's gone straight back on. We'll take a look at that. Sometimes, as I say, straight out of the box, you can... You might be required to do a little bit of tinkering, as I say, with a hairdryer or hot water to get some of the joints and some of the swap out parts to work. But yeah, this is my preferred look for this figure. So yeah, there you have it. That is Bruce Campbell as Ash William from Evil Dead 2. Let's get him back on the onto the turntable and go in for our final thoughts on this one. This guy actually is pretty good at freestanding, he said. Confidently. I noticed this straight out of the box that you know, sometimes immediately you know you're going to need a stand with the figure, but not necessarily with this one. He's pretty good at freestanding. So yeah, there you have it. So final thoughts on this guy. Let's try and get him central on this turntable without falling over. So yeah, okay, from the top, sculpt, very good. Paint applications on point, proportions are on point. The screen accuracy is there. It's pretty much what we've come to expect from NECA. It ticks all the boxes that NECA normally tick, and I really, really do like this Deadite head sculpt. I think it just works for me. Score out of 10. I would say probably a tough one, that, but I would probably give this maybe an 8.5, a 9. Because I'm not awfully convinced by this head sculpt. This is, although I am growing to like it, let's go with a 9. Yeah, we'll go with a 9 on this one. I think the more I look at this, the better it gets. But yeah, that's Ash himself, Ash Williams, aka Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead 2. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope it's been useful for you. What's your take on this? Do you have this in your collection? Do you have one of the newer versions? What's your what are your thoughts on this? I would be fascinated to hear. And as always, oh yeah, before we move on to the showcase, I almost forgot what's coming up on the channel. Well, as far as NECA go, we have a raft more NECA figures coming in and already in that have been set in storage, as I mentioned at the top there. They'll be coming up for review on the channel. All kinds of things from Alien, Evil Dead, Terminator, Predator. So yeah, those are going to be broken open and put up for review, so stay tuned for that. What have we got in the 6 scale world? I'm going to have to refer to my list here. In the 6 scale world, we have a boatload of stuff coming in. Hot Toys, Deadpool, the exclusive edition, that's on its way to us as we speak. All Toys, Duke Leto from June, that's also on its way to us. Caustic Plastic, Horror of Dracula, we're still waiting on that one. Fingers crossed that will land pretty soon as well. Toys Battalion, Legendary Merchant, aka Tom Hardy from Taboo. We've got the Susu Toys, Blade 3, Wesley Snipes, Blitzway Astro Boy version 2. Really looking forward to that one. Boatload of present toys stuff. This list could go on, as regulars to my channel will know, so I'll wind it up here, otherwise we'll be here for the rest of the day. Well, also as well, worth mentioning at this point as well, I've got something a little bit different coming up on the channel this week. Regulars to the channel will probably notice in the background here, I have LED lights. Now these LED strip lights have been here for years. They're well past their sell-by date, they're faded, they're unreliable, and I've decided to go all in with the replacement, and we're going to actually be replacing not only these lights here, but some of the lights around the 3 detolfs that are to the side of the desk here that people will have noticed in the tour video. And we're going to be replacing those with Govee lights. Now, I've never had Govee lights, but what we've gone for is the Govee Evangelion lights, the new ones that have just come out. So as opposed to just putting them up there and people noticing them, we're going to actually do a full review of those, because I think it's something that not only can be used for gaming situations, but I think may very well be really good for augmenting the display as well. So yeah, they'll be coming up for review before the end of this week, so stay tuned for that as well. So yeah, that's everything that's coming up on the channel. So all it remains for me to say is until next time, from myself, from Ash Williams, take care of yourselves, thank you for watching, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.